Hey everyone, Hridoy Hossein here, and today I'm super excited because I'm diving into the world of viral woodworking hacks. You know those crazy tips you see all over the internet, the ones that promise to make your projects easier, faster, or just a little bit cooler. Well, I've picked out 10 of the most popular ones, and I'm going to test them all right here in my workshop. But here's the thing. Do these hacks actually work, or are they just internet myths that waste your time and supplies? We're about to find out together. Some of these hacks surprised me, some were pretty clever, and one of them completely failed. Make sure you watch until the end, because hack number 9 looks fake but actually works incredibly well. Alright, let's test the first hack. Okay, so the first viral hack is all about removing a stripped screw using just a simple rubber band. You know that feeling when your screwdriver just keeps spinning and the screw head is too worn down to grip? The hack says, place a wide rubber band over the stripped screw, then slowly turn your screwdriver. The rubber band is supposed to fill in the gaps and give you extra grip. So, I grabbed a board and intentionally stripped a screw by over-tightening it. Then I stretched a rubber band over the head, pressed my screwdriver down, and gave it a slow, firm turn. The result? It actually worked. The rubber band gave enough extra grip to loosen the screw. It isn't magic and it won't fix every stripped screw, but if you're in a pinch and don't want to break out the power tools, this is a surprisingly effective solution. Next up is the painter's tape hack for clean cuts. Tear out happens when the wood fibers break away as you saw or drill, leaving rough, splintered edges. The internet claims that all you need is a strip of painter's tape along your cut line to prevent this. I set up 2 identical boards, marking a straight line on both. On one, I just cut straight through. On the other, I stuck down painter's tape before cutting. The difference was immediately obvious. The side with the tape had a much cleaner edge, with almost no tear out, while the untaped side was rough and splintery. This hack is simple, cheap, and genuinely effective. Definitely one I'll be using for future projects where a clean edge really matters. For hack number 3, let's talk about spreading wood glue. The internet says you can use an old credit card or a plastic gift card to get a perfectly even layer, instead of using your finger or a brush. I squeezed out some glue onto a board, grabbed a plastic card, and started spreading. The card made it super easy to control the amount of glue and evenly cover the wood, reaching all the corners without any mess. I could see right away that the coverage was smoother and more consistent, and cleanup was as simple as tossing the card in the trash. This is a great way to reuse something you'd otherwise throw away and get better glue joints at the same time. Hack number 4 is all about sanding accurately. The tip is simple. Scribble over the surface with a pencil before you start sanding. As you sand, the pencil marks will disappear from the high spots first, showing you where you need to focus your effort for a perfectly flat finish. I marked up a rough board with a pencil, then started sanding. As I worked, I could see the pencil marks fading away, but some low spots still had lines left. This made it really easy to see exactly where I needed to sand a bit more. It's a clever way to make sure you're not just sanding aimlessly, and it helps you get that perfectly smooth surface you want. Hack 5 is for those times when you need to clamp a small or awkwardly shaped piece, but your regular clamps just won't fit. The internet says you can use hot glue as a temporary clamp. Just add a dot of hot glue to hold your pieces together while your wood glue dries. I tried gluing 2 small pieces at a tricky angle, using a couple dots of hot glue on the edges. I pressed them together for a few seconds, and it worked. The hot glue held the pieces in place long enough for the wood glue to set. When it was dry, the hot glue snapped off easily without damaging the wood. This hack is actually pretty handy for small, tricky glue-ups. The 6th hack is another way to clamp pieces without traditional clamps, especially when making mitered corners or boxes. The idea is to use painter's tape as a clamp, lay the pieces flat, tape them together along the outside, flip them up, run a bead of glue, and then fold them closed. The tension in the tape holds the pieces tight while the glue dries. I tested this with a simple mitered frame. After taping the outside edges and applying glue, I folded it together and pressed the corners tight. The tape held everything in place surprisingly well. While it's no substitute for heavy-duty clamps on big projects, for small frames and boxes, this hack is a fantastic solution. Hack number 7 is for anyone who's ever dropped a tiny screw while working overhead or in a tight space. The internet says you can attach a small magnet to the shaft of your screwdriver, and it'll hold the screw in place while you work. So, I grabbed a strong little magnet and stuck it onto my screwdriver. Then I stuck a screw onto the tip, turned the tool upside down, and boom, the screw stayed in place. This made it a lot easier to start screws in awkward spots without dropping them. Honestly, it's one of those simple tricks that just makes life in the workshop a little less frustrating. For hack number 8, we're sharpening woodworking tools using sandpaper instead of a fancy sharpening stone. The internet says you can stick fine grit sandpaper to a flat surface, then rub your chisel or plane blade across it at the correct angle for a sharp edge. I stuck some 1000 grit sandpaper to a piece of glass, then honed the bevel of my chisel back and forth. After a few passes, I checked the edge, and it was noticeably sharper, definitely sharp enough for most woodworking tasks. While it won't match a pro sharpening setup, this hack is a solid option for quick touch-ups. Now, for hack number 9. This one looks totally fake, but it actually works incredibly well. The tip is to mix sawdust from your project with a few drops of superglue to create an instant wood filler that matches your piece perfectly. I found a small gap in a test board, packed in some fine sawdust, and dripped super glue over it. Within seconds, the glue hardened. I sanded it flush, and the patch blended in almost invisibly with the rest of the wood. It's not just fast, it's strong, and the color match is nearly perfect because it's the same sawdust as your project. This hack really surprised me, and is worth remembering for quick repairs. The final hack is all about getting even clamp pressure. Sometimes, when you're clamping two pieces together, the clamp jaws can dent the wood or not distribute pressure evenly. The internet says you can place a coin between the clamp and the wood to spread out the force. I set up 2 identical glue ups, one with just the clamp, and one with a coin under the clamp jaw. After tightening both clamps and letting the glue dry, I checked the surfaces. The side with the coin had far less denting and the pressure was more evenly spread across the joint. It's a simple trick, but it can save your project from unsightly clamp marks. So, after testing 10 viral woodworking hacks from the internet, some of them actually work surprisingly well, while others are only useful in certain situations. But a few of these tricks could genuinely make your woodworking projects easier, especially if you're in a pinch, or don't have every tool in the book. I was genuinely impressed by how effective some of these simple ideas can be. Now I'm curious about your experience. Have you ever tried a woodworking hack that actually worked really well? Let me know in the comments. I might test it in a future video. Whether it's a time-saving trick or a clever workaround, I love discovering new ways to make building things more fun and efficient. And if you want to see 10 woodworking tricks that look fake but actually work, check out the next video on this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next